Chapter 5. The Mountain. They flew north under sealed routing and very little conversation. The aircraft was military only in the way all very advanced things eventually became military. Smooth, quiet, expensive, and built around the assumption that comfort was optional. Noah sat by the narrow side window and watched Britain unroll beneath cloud in dim evening bands. His link had changed since the university corridor. Civilian feeds were gone. Social overlays, public transport, payment permissions, departmental access, news alerts, all stripped away. In their place sat a black clearance glyph and a hidden directory inside his interface. Arkfall Continuity Plan. The documents beneath it were dense, classified, and full of phrases designed to sound less frightening than they were. Population continuity modeling, long-duration habitation, strategic preservation infrastructure, off-world viability assessment. Noah had read enough to know that someone was spending an extraordinary amount of money preparing for the possibility that Earth might stop being safe. He had not read enough to understand why he was on this aircraft. Cities passed beneath them first, then towns, then roads turning smaller and lonelier as the aircraft climbed north, and the land below lifted into darker country. Ilara sat opposite him in silence, her posture exact, eyes tracking command feeds only she could see. Pale amber data flickered across her pupils, then vanished before Noah's restricted link could request it.
So far, I've established that you have a problem that needs solving. You believe I'm best placed to solve your problem.
Noah studied her.
You're running Arkfall, a continuity project. Your problem is scale. You can't move enough people far enough, keep them alive long enough, and power the journey without something failing.
He paused for a sign from Ilara he was on the right track. She gave nothing away. He continued.
You need help. You need me.
Very good, Doctor. You have identified the problem. The files will tell you how little time we have left to solve it.
Commander Voss, what exactly is it you're afraid of? Why spend billions on Arkfall? Why build a ship inside a mountain? What is this mission actually preparing for?
Ilara was quiet for a moment. When she answered, her voice was calm. Military. Certain.
A Category 1 continuity threat.
That sounds ominous.
That's by design. The British Prime Minister was given a classified assessment from American early warning networks. The assessment identified a threat with the potential to cause civilization collapse on a global scale. An Earth-directed solar superflare projected within 15 years. Its radiation front would overwhelm the planet's magnetic shielding, trigger atmospheric collapse, and render the surface biosphere non-viable.
Simply put, it would kill every living thing on this planet.
The people underground might survive the event. They would not necessarily survive the world after it.
And you believe the estimate?
Belief is not part of my remit. Preparation is.
The aircraft dipped lower. Cloud tore beneath them, revealing a narrow valley cut between black mountains. At first, Noah saw only weather, stone, and distance. Then he saw the perimeter. Barbed wire fencing ran across the valley floor in long, brutal lines, vanishing into rain and rock on either side. Watchtowers stood at regular intervals along the fence. Armed guards moved beneath covered sentry points, their dark weather gear almost invisible against the mountainside. Floodlights swept over the access road. A warning sign stood beside the outer gate, white letters stark against black steel. No trespassers. You will be shot. Noah stared at it.
Subtle.
The aircraft passed above the outer perimeter. Beyond it, the mountain rose through rain-dark cloud. At first, Noah thought it was just another ridgeline. Then, the lights changed. Not floodlights, not revelation. Just faint lines beneath the mountain face itself, almost invisible unless you were already looking for intelligence hidden inside rock. Angles too clean for geology. A dark opening resolved at the last moment into an armored entry cut directly into the mountainside. The aircraft descended towards it. Noah leaned forward despite himself. The doors in the rock were already opening. Inside, something vast waited in partial shadow. They passed through the mountain skin and into a hangar so enormous Noah's brain rejected the scale before accepting it. Construction swarms moved first across his vision. Repair units, cargo lifters, tracked assemblers, ceiling rigs hanging from rails like mechanical insects. Human workers moved among them in ordered lines, but the machines did most of the lifting now. Sparks flashed somewhere deep to the left. Welding arms rotated. A gantry rose through the air, carrying a structural spine section longer than a city street. And beyond all of it, half hidden in scaffold, vapor, and worklight, stood the Ark. Not a model, not a rendering, not a theory. A real vessel under construction inside a mountain. Immense. White-gray and unfinished. Hull plates remained open in places, exposing skeletal framework beneath. Its curved body hung suspended in a cradle of industrial arms and access towers, while drones and workers crawled across it like cells around a growing bone. Noah stood when the aircraft touched down. For one strange, suspended second, nobody hurried him. Ilara let him look. The Ark rose beyond the glass, like something halfway between salvation and confession.
If humanity loses Earth, this is our escape.
No,
Noah turned toward her.
an escape is somewhere you run to. This is a continuity vessel. It carries enough people, knowledge, seed stock, medicine, machinery, and memory to ensure that something human survives the loss.
So it is a lifeboat.
A lifeboat assumes someone will come looking. This is meant to make sure there is still a future when no one does.
Noah looked back through the glass. The Ark no longer looked like a ship. It looked like an argument against extinction. The hatch opened. Cold mountain air and machine heat entered at once.
Come on, Doctor.
Noah looked back at the Ark once before following her. The movement felt like crossing an invisible threshold. Down the ramp, onto the steel deck, into the hidden facility, where drones stitched the future together beneath rock and secrecy, while the world above remained cheerfully unaware of how close it already was to needing it. The aircraft door sealed behind them with a sound too soft to be comforting. Noah followed Ilara onto the steel deck, where work lamps turned rainwater into broken lines of gold and white. The hangar was not simply large. It was a world that happened to exist inside a mountain. Cargo drones skimmed overhead. Tracked loaders crawled beneath suspended gantries. Fabrication arms rose and folded along the walls, each one large enough to rebuild a house. And at the center of it all, the Ark hung inside its cradle. Half of the facility appeared to be building the ship. The other half was building everything the ship would need when humanity had to live inside a machine for longer than anyone wanted to imagine. Cryogenic shell casings passed on a loader in pale stacks that looked uncomfortably like coffins. Water recycling towers stood in testing bays. Habitat ring components rotated slowly beneath calibration lights. Automated farms glowed behind sealed glass, growing food under artificial dawn. They walked beneath the Ark's unfinished flank. Up close, its hull was not elegant yet. It was a maze of exposed ribs, temporary plating, weld seams, access shafts, and scaffold towers. It looked less like a miracle and more like what it really was, a machine being forced into existence by frightened people with almost unlimited money.
This is not a ship. It is a city with engines.
A city still needs a planet. This one may have to carry its own.
They passed a line of technicians checking ceramic shielding tiles. Beyond them, an enormous cylindrical chamber was being lowered into the open spine of the Ark. They reached an observation gallery overlooking the full length of the vessel. From there, the Ark swallowed proportion. It made every lecture Noah had ever given feel like a child's sketch of a cathedral.
When is it due to be finished?
That depends on you.
Noah looked at her.
When you give me a lattice drive that works, cryopods that wake people reliably, and quantum navigation capable of guiding us without satellites.
Surely you already have teams working on all of that.
We have teams working on parts of it.
And none of the parts work together.
Not yet.
So that is why I am here.
Ilara gave a nod and then resumed walking. She led him away from the fabrication decks, through 2 security doors, and down into a colder level beneath the main hangar. The lower laboratory was quieter than the Ark Bay, but no less intense. Black, branching samples of the trench-lattice hung inside shielded containment chambers. They looked inert beneath normal light, but every few seconds, one branch gave a faint violet-white pulse. The pulse did not light the chamber. It seemed to pull the light towards itself. Banks of instruments crowded the walls. Noah recognized only half of them at a glance. The rest looked like prototypes, or devices built for problems that had not officially been admitted to exist. He stopped walking.
You actually have it.
We have samples. Every Ark facility has their own samples.
Even after teaching the theory, seeing the material itself, real, contained, and quietly impossible, was something else entirely. This was not fuel. It was a renewable energy architecture, if anyone could persuade it to behave. At the nearest containment table, a scientist was studying a storm of shifting data. Blonde hair was tied into a loose ponytail. Glasses sat low on her nose. She wore a blue shirt with the sleeves rolled to her elbows. A stylus tucked behind one ear. A small ring hung on a chain at her throat. She did not look up when Ilara entered.
It seems I have solved the mystery of the missing scientists.
The woman finally looked up, one eyebrow lifting.
Have you?
Yes. Turns out they were all hiding underground, building something that violates at least 3 laws of physics.
A corner of her mouth moved.
Only 3? Then I am having a slow morning.
Noah stepped closer.
Dr. Noah Kepler.
I know.
That caught him.
You do?
Your paper on gravitational lensing was good.
Noah brightened despite himself.
Your conclusion was arrogant.
And there it was, the smile.
Dr. Mara Ilyan. Reactor integration and lattice response modeling.
And my lattice propulsion theory?
Mara blinked the readout into her link, swept the model aside with 2 fingers, and brushed past him.
Needs work.
Noah turned after her.
I guess we have plenty of time to work things out between us.
Mara glanced back, her expression sharp with amusement.
Dr. Kepler, I brought you here because the project needs a new perspective. Whether you can make it happen is what comes next. If you need anything, just ask. This is your team now. Good luck.
For the first time since Ilara Voss had entered his lecture hall, Noah understood the scale of what had been placed in his hands. The Ark was not waiting for humanity to become ready. Humanity was trying to become ready before the Ark was needed. Behind the glass, the lattice gave one faint violet-white pulse, like a warning or an answer.